right, let's talk about designing a Christmas tree or a spring tree or a fall tree or whatever kind of tree you want to do. So the first thing I look at is ribbon. And this is where I decide my color scheme and my theme, maybe. I loved this ribbon when I saw it, so this year I'm going with butterflies.
Now let's lay it all out.
Then when I'm deciding what else to put in the tree, I'm going to take my ribbon and I'm going to look at the colors and whatever I'm going to include and see. I'm going to lay it all out and I'm going to decide what to put in the tree. I might change my mind while I'm putting it in the tree, but this is my rough idea or my rough plan. So when it comes to building my tree, I use a lot stems and florals, and those tend to fall down in the spaces in between the branches because this tree is really meant to show off your ornaments. I'm not going to use a ton of ornaments. I'm going to be using a lot more florals. So this is a great secret weapon. I use this in some of my Christmas trees as well. This is Grapevine Garland, and this just goes kind of around. I've cut it up into smaller pieces and I just kind of randomly stick that throughout the tree. This gives the branches of your floral pieces something horizontal to lay on, and it helps the structure of your tree, and it helps to hold all of those floral greenery picks and floral pieces in the tree. Secret weapon, Grapevine Garland, use it. All right, already my tree looks a lot more interesting. So I have just played around with some flowers in the top, and I've got my Grapevine Garland set. And I'm going to add my focal points, which are gonna be these mushrooms that my daughter and I DIY'd. So I got the inspiration for the mushroom from these little mossy mushrooms that I showed you. I got these at Michael's, and the butterflies. So I wanted to do a combination with the butterflies and the mushrooms. And I was originally thinking when I bought this stuff to DIY the mushrooms that I would kind of copy the moss part, and I would be putting moss on these. But then I decided this was another opportunity to add a pop of color. I have the bright ribbon and I really want the bright colors, and so I decided we would paint them. Painting was not easy on this craft foam, but I think I really like the color. So I'm going to add these 3 large mushrooms in, and then I'm going to start filling in around them.
On these mushrooms, I've got a piece of wire wrapped around at the top of the stem, and that's what I'm going to use to attach these mushrooms to the tree.
I also went ahead and put the little mossy ones. I need to take my tags off. Mossy ones in the tree. Now I'm going to, before I fill in with my greenery and flowers, I'm going to play around with my ribbon. I've got this ribbon in the shop. This is the butterfly ribbon, and this is the front, and this is the back. So I played around with the idea of pairing it with this black and white ribbon, which is plaid, which is also in my shop. And I played around with doing it like this. I decided not to pair them together and run them separately because I really like the back of this ribbon as well. So I didn't want to cover it up and just have the white back. So I'm playing around with this one first. This one is wired, but it's pretty soft. It's a 10 yards of ribbon.
I just played around with this ribbon. I didn't have a plan starting off, but I do like the way it turned out.
What I did on this ribbon is I found the center. I used a little piece of wire on the center, and I attached the center at the top. Then I brought one half of the ribbon this way and the other half of the ribbon that way, and it's just draped in there. It's not attached anywhere else except for at the top. In the middle, as I'm decorating, I may put in pieces of wire here and there to hold it in, but this is where I'm going to start. It's going to look better when I fill in with the greenery. I'm also going to play around with the other ribbon, see what happens there. Truth is, I've been thinking about bows on that ribbon. On this tree, I'm not, I'm using a lot of florals. I'm not using a lot of ornaments. I have the big focal points with my mushrooms and I have that pretty ribbon, but I think that this will make a great bow. And this ribbon is good bow ribbon. It's very stiff, and I think the pattern will add a lot to just really make it pop against all the colors that I'm using. All right, and there's a bow. What do you think? Now it's the fun part. I'm going to start filling in with florals.
This is when the tree really starts to come together. I used a lot of florals in bright colors and a lot of greenery. This was just cheap eucalyptus greenery that I've had forever. I love the way it came together. I did have to make a little adjustment to my ribbon, adding some more wire in different places to hold it in, but it looked so good when it was all done.
What do you think so far? Last thing is I'm going to add butterflies. I made these into picks. They just came on a little piece of wire and I added them to a stick. So I'm going to put them in the tree.
Adding finishing touches could be butterflies, but it could also be icicles or small ornaments depending on what type of tree you're doing. And here we go. Here she is, the final reveal. I loved this mushroom and butterfly tree. I think it was perfect for spring and summer, and it had a lot of bright colors that I just enjoyed immensely. Now, these steps can be used for a spring and summer tree, but they could also be used for a Christmas tree, a Valentine's tree, a fall tree. Whatever type of tree you're using, you can use those steps and create a beautiful tree. Again, this one I loved. I thought the butterflies added a great touch to the mushrooms, and I enjoyed making those mushrooms, those DIY mushrooms. This was a really fun tree. I hope you enjoy. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more seasonal decor ideas.